Okay, today we're doing a review of my Newport 180 Pro. Let's get into it. Okay, so I've had this Newport 180 Pro for about a year and a half now, approaching on it. And I've put a lot of days on the water with this motor and a lot of time on the water. I've run it on two different kayaks. I've run it on a Old Town 120 PDL and a Native Titanette. And on the Old Town, it got about 4.9 miles an hour, 4.8. And on the Native Titanette, it ended up actually getting a higher speed. I'm not exactly sure why, but even though the Native Titanette is a much bigger kayak, but it gets about 5.1, 5.2 on that kayak. I've been using this Power Queen 50 amp 12 volt, and I've only managed to kill it on the water once, and I didn't recharge it from the day before. Normally I end the day with about 50-60% left on my battery. That battery is pretty used and abused, as you can see, and for the about $240 I paid for it, it's held up great. And if you're looking for a real budget battery, I've had no complaints. I've had two of them, and I know a couple buddies who also have them. We haven't had any problems, so take that with a grain of salt because they are a cheaper battery. But as for the motor, I'm going to bring you over here to look at the wear and tear on it. Okay, so with the wear and tear on the motor, right here there's some pretty deep grooving from just where this spins from turning it. And then just some general, like from where the foot steering hooks up. But overall, pretty good. This is my second throttle, so it's pretty brand new. My other one's pretty beat up, but it has not broken, and I've run into some stuff pretty dang hard. And just, really hit into rocks, really just didn't hold back. This little plate just has some scuffs, but overall the motor has held up great. There's a couple little from throwing in truck beds and stuff, but overall this motor has held up great. It has gone a little louder over time. Okay, so overall I've had this motor set up on two different kayaks with a couple different steering setups. I've kind of showed those on my channel before. And I had it set up with just some steering cables hooked into the throttle to the rudder system. That worked fine, but it was a little gimmicky. I had it with a pole to push back and forth. That worked fine on my Old Town that I couldn't set up foot steering. But overall foot steering, I found works the best by far. Really makes you, you can just put the throttle barely down and just slowly tilt back and forth. It really lets you hands-free fish, and so far I found that that's the best. Right now I'm using the Source Steer from Source Crate. I'll link that down below. It's only $89, and it's all metal with roller bearings. And I found that works the best for the price, because the Wizard steering with almost the identical setup is $100 more expensive. So I've found that is just a lot more price effective. And then other accessories that I would recommend is, you see right here, normally there's just a nut, but I 3D print and sell these knobs. These knobs right here that just allow you to not have to use a wrench that they include with it, and not have to struggle when you have to get line out or rope out and untangled from the propeller, which is inevitable. This hand screw knob is a big help, and they're $14.99. I'll link my eBay and Etsy in the description below. It really helps support my fishing journey and makes your Newport a bit safer, so you don't have to worry about keeping the deep socket wrench in your emergency box on your kayak. So overall, my final thoughts about this motor: it's been a great motor. I have really loved it. I just upgraded to the NK300 to get a little more speed, but with a 50 amp battery, I can easily go 15 plus miles in a day. So in my opinion, this motor is a great pickup. It's power efficient, it's fast, and it's really served me great in my kayak fishing journey and has allowed me to compete in tournaments at a higher level. But for some of the negatives on this motor, it's quite loud compared to your Torqeedos and Bixby's. So keep that in mind. That's kind of like being at that lower price point. I think that's just one of the trade-offs. It's not horrific, but that is something to look out for if you just can't stand a little bit of noise. Sure, if you have a Newport 180 Pro or are looking to get one, pick up some of these knobs. They really make it so much easier because you don't have to worry about dropping the nut in the water because this floats. They make it so much easier to take off your prop, especially because you don't want to get tangled in line or rope and not be able to take your prop off. I am a Newport ambassador, but I bought this motor with my own money, and they don't tell me to say anything. That like button, subscribe, thanks for watching, check you on the next one.